Alright, hello there everyone. DunkinMan back again. Today I'm going to be doing something that I guess I'm going to call something around the Socket Hangup. I don't know. We'll see by the time I upload the video what it's called. But it's basically just a little session where I watch a few videos, commentate over them because the socket socket hangup, whatever you want to call it, is ruining everybody's time on the ladder. So I'm gonna get some NU battles. Is something I know the most about, as evidenced by my first couple of videos. So why don't we watch the newest one, Zach X whatever versus Astral Spirit. Astral Spirit seems to at least have some mind about their name. And is going to lead off with the Rotom Fan. Don't know if they predicted the victory bell, but it was definitely a decent lead. However, perhaps Astral expected the switch out into something to take an Air Slash, and so went for the Volt Switch. Not sure exactly what he's going to switch in on Victory Bell, but my guess would be the Gourgeist. Yeah, I would say the Gourgeist. Most Victory Bell are uh, physical, and he's neutral to Sludge Bomb. Yep, so he goes into that. Finds the Black Sludge, so takes nothing from the Sleep Powder. Blocks that. Seems that Victory Bell is some sort of defensive variant, and Gourgeist is probably going to beat it one-on-one over time. So I expect probably a Will-O-Wisp to come out. There's nothing on Zach's team to absorb it. The knockoff does come though, so the leftovers are gone. The Will-O-Wisp does not hit, of course. As per usual with Will-O-Miss, it missed. Huh. Well, my guess is another Will-O-Wisp is coming. Knockoff isn't going to knock out Gourgeist at this point. It'll probably only do about 25-30%. So the Will-O-Wisp hits the Articuno, probably the thing that wanted the burn the most. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure it's a wallish set. I've seen a lot of specially defensive Articunos, though it does have reasonably good physical bulk. It's got terrible typing. But Zach is going to put it to use here. Probably go for the Freeze Dry. If I had to say, it does hit every member of Astral Spirit's team for neutral damage. I don't remember if Sock resists it. But actually, no, not neutral damage. It hits it super effectively. So the Freeze Dry is a great idea right here. Unfortunately, he goes for the Hurricane. Don't know if that was the best play. Pretty inaccurate, and I can't imagine he's running an Articuno set with Hurricane and not Freeze Dry. So definitely questionable right there. But perhaps he expected the Sock to switch in. Not entirely sure. But I think if he switches out Articuno right now, then he will be in a really good position to bring it back in at another time and go for that freeze dry if he's carrying it. So, right now, Gorbis is probably going to either Ice Beam or Scald, or try to set up regardless of the fact that it's almost dead. I guess waste not, want not, right? So we'll see what Astral Spirit tries to do right here. He won't really achieve much by trying to knock out the Articuno in the long run at this point. So it might just be in his interest to try and get the speed if he can. Maybe the Articuno will miss. Nope, he goes for the Surf, and the Hurricane does hit. So that is a dead Goribus. I'm really very surprised to not see the freeze dry so far. But this is certainly a Scarf Rotom. Just go straight for the Volt Switch, the best play, really. Wouldn't want to trick or anything like that, expecting something else. And I just noticed how much Gourgeist and Rotom Fans sprites look the same up here. Interesting. Well, that's kind of cool. The the Probopass is now in here. Sock is certainly there. It is. Sock definitely came in, going to threaten this out with a close combat or an Earthquake. Close combat looks like the best option. Hits everything but the Victory Bell neutrally or more on Zach's team. So we'll see right here. He does go into the Victory Bell expecting the CC, but it does not take it well enough. Sock is about to go on a rampage and most likely take out the Victory Bell and then from there, I would expect to see either the Dugong or the... No, not the Articuno. Articuno could take it neutrally at least. But it's also possible that Dugong could live if it is a physically defensive type. Most likely specially defensive, if anything. Ditto comes in, however, probably Scarfed on top of Sock's Scarf. So, actually, I'm not sure if that works. I guess that just means they're both speed tying, because I am sure this Sock is Scarfed. But Gourgeist sees the close combat coming and comes in, eats it right up. Ditto has to switch now, so another Will-O-Wisp is most likely coming, but the Articuno could come in, so possibly a Leech. Yeah, there we go. There's the Leech Seed. No reason not to get health back for Gourgeist. Plus, he may carry the Shadow Sneak, might do just a little bit of damage, but it's unnecessary damage at this point. If he's got Protect, that would also be quite helpful. We will see. He may just want to switch out again, though he is running out of switches for this Articuno. He does go for the Shadow Sneak. The Hurricane does hit and kills, but the Shadow Sneak... Ooh, I was going to say that the Shadow Sneak left the Articuno in a position where it would die to the burn, but the leftovers keep it just out of that range, and it looks like Sock can probably come back in. Oh, Rotom Fan, who is also probably Scarfed. Actually, come to think of it, since this is Scarfed, I would say that the Sock is most certainly banded, and none of the remaining Pokemon on Zach's team can effectively take a banded Sock's close combat, Jolly, or Adamant. So, it looks like Astral's pretty much got this in the bag here if he plays his Sock just really aggressively from this point on, and he can just sack off Sandslash and Driftblim, because Driftblim's really not going to do very much against the team anyway. So we'll see Ditto come in. That was a good play actually, because Ditto can outspeed the Sock if it's banded. Yep, and it was choice banded. But close combat knocks out Ditto. I don't think the choice band is necessary at this point, though it would definitely help in securing a KO on Relicanth, because Relicanth has amazing bulk. However, the sacrifice to... well, that's an interesting play. Probopass is just going to die. The sacrifice of Driftblim is well worth the ability to switch into Rotom, hit it with a Thunderbolt or a Volt Switch. I expect that the switch into Sandslash at this point is coming, because no, he just goes straight for the close combat. It does KO. I wouldn't have trusted it myself, but Sock is quite strong. Dugong is not all that strong. Relicanth comes in. Let's see if he can take the close combat. I guess Sock doesn't really have any other reason to switch out at this point. He does take it, just barely, hits the head smash, and he's looking pretty against the remaining 3 members of Astral Spirit's team. Unfortunately, the Driftblim's going to come in, most likely Shadow Ball. No reason not to Shadow Ball. There we go, and it's gone. So that was the game between Astral Spirit and Zach. I guess the ladder is starting to update. No, it looks like it wants to update, but it's not going to. It's going to give us the socket error, whatever. Excuse me, I don't want to look for a battle. Jeez. No, I don't want to watch. I'm getting out of that battle as soon as I get into this battle. Yep. Hired Hitman versus J-Mac. No, get out of here. I don't want to play that. Yeah, I'll forfeit. Yeah. Anyhow, gonna join this battle. J-Mac versus Hired Hitman. J-Mac's got a pretty tough looking team, but then Hired Hitman is not looking like much of a slouch himself. However, much of Hired Hitman's team looks to be physical, so this Wiz Khalifa Torkoal can most likely eat up all of the hits from them. Bass Pro rather, is going to get roared in. Luxor is going to come out. He does have the Intimidate, so it's probably defensive. It might be a special variant. The Waterfall still does a bunch of damage, though, for being -1. And most likely a bulky set with lefties. This may have special moves. No, he does have the physical moves, so Wiz Khalifa can eat those up pretty well. However, the rocks are really getting to him, so he's going to want to spin here sometime soon before he dies, and that's really not going to do much for his survivability at this point, because Luxray can continue to chip away at him. Ooh, Wiz Khalifa makes the interesting play and goes for the Earth Power. Definitely would have hurt the Luxray, but the hired hitman sees that coming and switches into his Cryogonal. Very good play. Hold on, let me pause this real quick. Alright, so we missed that turn right there where Sparky, the Luxray, gets waterfalled after intimidating Basculin, and this time it actually gets knocked out, looking much more like a banded Basculin than a Life Orb Basculin, so you can see the difference in power between these two teams. But now Boomstick comes in, and J-Mac knows that that thing is locked into Waterfall, and goes for the Giga Drain as Cryogonal comes in. Definitely an interesting play too, but Thick Fat Miltank doesn't take that as well as it could. Sip Sip. Yes, please. Sip Sip. Cryogonal is actually doing some work. I haven't seen Cryogonal do much of anything in recent battles because it's honestly gotten destroyed pretty much any time it had the opportunity to come in that I've seen. But Miltank misses the Toxic as if it matters. I don't think he could do anything but miss at that point. And yep, the Earthquake is going to hurt Wiz Khalifa just a little bit, but he gets the rocks out of there just in time, and the Stealth Rocker goes down after roaring, and Torkoal is safe for another day. Now Cryogonal comes in on the Drift Blim, goes for the Ice Beam. Again, it would have done big damage to the Drift Blim, but luckily Sip Sip comes back in and saves J-Mac's hide. Now we're going to see a Milk Drink come out. Yep, so this is certainly a defensive, probably fully physically defensive Miltank, which I've seen a lot of lately. He wants to switch out and get rid of that Intimidate, and also because Wiz Khalifa is most likely a better physical wall for the Luxray to handle. Then Wiz Khalifa is able to get up his Stealth Rocks again, so Luxray, as I mentioned, is getting walled pretty hard by this Torkoal, but it has gone down now. And Luxray, while at -1 attack and defense, is still looking pretty good. I would say that Miltank comes back in, the next most defensive thing on his team, but I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe a Seismic Toss or Body Slam. He goes for the Toxic. Well, it's good that this Luxray is not offensive, nor is it Guts, so that gives Sip Sip a pretty good chance to go for a Milk Drink, I'm sure, here. Yep. But he is not going to like taking a close combat. I expect to see J-Mac switch into his Drift Blim and possibly see Hired Hitman go for the U-turn. No, he goes for the close combat. I think the switch into Drift Blim there was a little bit too obvious, but what are you going to do? The switch out now into Cryogonal, he takes some damage, but really doesn't take much from the Psychic at all, and now he can go for another Ice Beam, but Miltank can come back in once again. I'm not sure what he's got. What sort of item has he got? He doesn't seem to have leftovers, and I haven't been paying attention. Maybe they got knocked off. Not sure. He goes for the Toxic on the Cryogonal. It's going to get worn down again. I expect to see probably another Milk Drink right here from Miltank. There's not really much else it needs to do against this Cryogonal. It will take damage if it just decides to go for the Body Slam, but okay. Now it's going to be awfully hard for Sip Sip to live a hit from Swallow. Not surprising. But yep, the Brave Bird comes. He actually eats it up quite well. Can go for the Milk Drink again if he wants, but gets the Paralyze on him instead. He will definitely outspeed because Miltank is quite fast, and even though Swallow is fast itself, it can't do much after being paralyzed. So Miltank gets another kill with the Body Slam. Very powerful, but now I'm sure the U-turn is coming. Poison Jab also works. Not really though. J-Mac does predict the overprediction from Primeape, even though it was a bad overprediction, considering that Poison Jab is ineffective against Ghost types. He goes out into Luxray. I guess it didn't really matter that Miltank missed the Toxic. I'm sure that thing will die in one hit or not one hit. Anyway, it won't have time to take residual damage, is what I mean. So here the sacrifice of Sip Sip comes as Luxray goes for the Volt Switch, so shows that he does have a little bit of special investment, I guess, just so that he has momentum, which is not a bad play. Boomstick comes out, the superior against the water type, because the Volt Switch gave JMac the switch opportunity, to bring whatever he wanted to in on it. He goes for the sub here, which is a good play, knowing that Basculin would switch out. Now, he's probably going to go for a Calm Mind. I expect an Ice Fang or Fire Fang from Luxray. No, he goes for the Giga Drain, which is also a decent play because he wants to get rid of this Luxray as fast as he can despite the Toxic that is on him. And the Crunch comes, knocks out the Substitute. But it looks like, yep, Giga Drain's not going to kill. Toxic will, after the turn is over, no, it won't. No, especially because it has leftovers. So it's going to be another turn, but Superior does outspeed, so there's no reason for him not to. Nice prediction there by JMac going for the substitute. Maybe expecting the strongest possible electric type attack to come from the Luxray. That gives him the free opportunity to go for a safe Giga Drain on the Ape that comes in. Drift Blim, Poison Jab again. It appears that this Ape does not carry Ice Punch or Stone Edge, which is okay. I like the idea of Ice Punch, but Poison Jab hits fairies fine, even though there aren't many in the tier. Chocotick is a big problem, though, for Primate. So the Psychic comes, gives the special defense drop to Basculin, but it would have died to another one if given the opportunity. And so now Basculin comes in. Banded Basculin will not outspeed the Superior, most likely, and Waterfall does not appear to kill from this range. But Hired Hitman doesn't really have much to lose by going for it, so JMac actually pulls the double into his own Basculin to get off a Waterfall, it seems, hoping that he would outspeed, possibly thinking that this Basculin is just adamant where he is jolly. And Hired Hitman gets the Intimidate off and then comes back and revenges his Luxray with the Basculin with an Aqua Jet. Don't know if JMac went for the Aqua Jet himself or not. Giga Drain comes from Boomstick, knowing that it will really hurt the Basculin in the first place. And he can hurt Primeape as it switches in. He does have a decently safe switch in his Drift Blim. Unfortunately, the poison that Drift Blim was hit with prior made it... Ooh, I see a choke. The poison brought Drift Blim down to the point where he might have died to another poison jab from the Ape, and the Ape stayed in while JMac expected him to switch out, forcing him to lose and give Hired Hitman the victory. That was a pretty impressive battle. I'm really enjoying that. What time are we at here? 18? What the hell? It's been 18 minutes? Alright. I'm definitely going to have to stop. I guess I only watched 2 battles, but these guys just took so long. So, with that, yeah, just let me know what you think of me doing these little commentaries while the sockets are all messed up and everything like that. Can't find ladder matches. So, yeah, I guess I'm done here. Everyone have a great day, great night. I'll see you later. Bye.